Good day and welcome to Base Camp. Lawrence Frey here with another video on improving our English communication. In our recent film clips, we've looked at the use of apostrophes, which has always been a great problem when people are correcting their punctuation. Very briefly, we said that apostrophes are never ever used to denote plurals. So if you see a sign that says CDs for sale and that little CDs has an apostrophe before the S, it is wrong. Where punctuation uses apostrophes correctly is in denoting possession. And we said for singular possession you add an apostrophe plus an S. So Rahul's car, R-A-H-U-L apostrophe S. And even if the noun you're dealing with ends in S, you still add apostrophe S. So the actress's home, A-C-T-R-E-S-S apostrophe S, the actress's home. And if for singular possession we add apostrophe S, for plural possession, we add S apostrophe. The executive's computers. Executives ends with an apostrophe. E-X-E-C-U-T-I-V-E-S apostrophe. The company's logos. C-O-M-P-A-N-I-E-S apostrophe. We're dealing with more than one company, so it's S apostrophe. We also said that abbreviations are denoted using apostrophes, and we put the apostrophe placed before where the first missing letter should go. So she will becomes she'll, S-H-E apostrophe L-L, and would not becomes wouldn't, with an apostrophe between the N and the T. I pointed out two major pitfalls. One is the word your, and we can just exemplify that in the sentence, you're looking for your pen. So the first your, or you are, is Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, but your pen, no apostrophe at all. You're looking for your pen. And we said it's, written with an apostrophe, is short for it is. So it is over there becomes it's, IT apostrophe S, over there. And it's happening now, IT apostrophe S. If you want to say the chair isn't in its proper place, you would say the chair, ISN apostrophe T, isn't in its proper place, and it has no apostrophe at all. That was a quick review of apostrophes. Hope it's as clear as can be. And I want to look upon now preference, comparison, and difference. So when we use sentences that involve preference, we use the preposition to. So I would say, I prefer tea to coffee. Please note that I don't prefer tea from coffee. I prefer tea to coffee. I prefer this restaurant to that one. So when you're showing preference, please, it's preference plus to. When you are comparing two things, however, you would use than and not the word to. Very often here, we would hear people say, my sister is younger to me. Please don't. My sister is younger than me. And if you want to be totally grammatical correct, you should say, my sister is younger than I. Because you're using the verb is, and it takes I. And if you pick up the phone, you know, somebody cold calls you, and they say, am I speaking to Lawrence? I would say, this is I. Now, this kind of puts people off, which is a good idea because the cold caller puts their phone down. And really, you could say this is me. This is I is, really, really grammatically right, but this is me is fine. But this is I is probably the formal correct form. Anyway, going back to comparing. This bread is fresher than that one. My car is newer than yours. His job pays more than mine. So, comparison uses the word than. Preference plus to. Comparing, use than. And finally, different. Different takes the preposition from. His job is different from mine. Her hours of work are different from mine. The school she went to is different from mine. So please recap that. Prefer plus to. Different plus from. And comparing two things, you use the word than. I want to close this video with a short little note on a word that's often used. Band. Band, as I understand it, means strike. If you use the word when you're speaking to somebody abroad, please use strike. Don't say there is a band today and nobody is working. There is a strike. That is very confusing if you try to use the Indian word. Doesn't help in the international context. Thank you very much for being with me today. See you in the next video. This is Lawrence signing off from IELTS Base Camp.